Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk. Today we'll be talking about Vikings Season 5, Episode 8, The Joke. This episode was intense, and I'll be pinpointing things that I kind of liked and didn't like in the episode. This is kind of a review. So let's just jump into the episode. When the episode starts, everybody in the scene are just looking for reassurance. Ivar is looking for reassurance from Witzig, and Bjorn is like asking reassurance for Harold's brother, Halfdan the Black, and everybody's just making sure that the person they're asking is on their sides, because this episode was not what you would call a regular war or battle, where you have enemies on different sides. This is a war between brothers, not brothers from one family, but different families. And this is a war between previous lovers like Lagata and Astrid. So this battle was, to say the least, was crazy, even the idea of having the battle. So one thing that I noticed off the top when it started was that Bjorn is just making me mad. I don't know why. I kind of like Torvi. She's a good person as a wife. I don't know. She's just nice to his mom, so he should have not kept her. But I mean, he shouldn't be just rubbing it on her face like, oh, I have a new girlfriend now. It's kind of weird, and I didn't like it. It was intense, I guess. As a fan, I didn't like it, but I can understand why the writers and directors put it in. And the show cuts to Floki and his new people that he brought to the island that he has found, and they start talking about which is really funny, about ass licking. And one of the guy, which is a really like, I think he even hates Floki. I don't even know why he is there, but he talks about how Floki has like doomed their chances of survival in the new world. And some people kind of support Floki, and I mean, it looked like what the colonists would have talked about if when they arrived to America, like, oh, we are doomed, we should go back to our queen and king. But yeah, that was a funny moment. But and next thing is, yeah, the war starts. Everyone comes to the battleground, and before they fight, which is something that would happen realistically, they kind of try to talk this out. I mean, I don't think anyone wants, even if they're a king or a queen, I don't think they want their people to die for something that can be avoided by just talking it out. So they kind of exchange hostages. The exchange of hostages was funny, because it's kind of like, if the hostages just remain in their wherever they went, like if Vizrik went to Bjorn and he joined if he joins Uba and Lagata, it wouldn't even be that weird. Or if Halfdan the Black joined his brother Harold, the King Harold, it wouldn't even be that weird, because that's where they belong. But they have switched, and when they switched hostages, it didn't even look like they were switching hostages. If someone is watching this episode without watching the previous 7 episodes and they just started watching this, what what's going on, like, yeah. So and we had this talk of everybody started talking about, like, Harold started talking to his brother, saying, I don't want to kill you on the battlefield, and blah blah blah. And same goes for Uba. Uba tells Visick that he doesn't want to kill him on the battlefield too. So it's kind of like a brother love going on around there. And Ivar just, which makes him very different. He's not saying like, oh, I don't want to kill you and stuff. But he goes on and says, like, he just puts in his cynical arguments, like, he was telling Halfdan the Black, I think you're kind of taking this love you have for beyond a little too much, a little too far. I don't think you should be liking him that much. And it was kind of, well, I mean, it's something that Ivar would have done, so it wasn't really surprising. So it goes back, and they kind of talk it out, and before they kind of gather around in a circle, and they're seated, and they started talking, like, all of them are there. Ivar, Lagatan and stuff, everybody's there to talk about, to avoid fighting and to go home peacefully and stuff. And they start talking about brother shouldn't fight brother, and that our lovely Ragnar Lothbrok wouldn't like this and stuff. Yeah. And Lagatha gets up. She kind of gives this speech and stuff, and then asks Astrid to come to her side, but Astrid, like, blocks her. Like, she just blocks her. There was no Facebook back then, but then it was as if she blocked her on every social media. She was like, no, I'm married to Harold. So that was funny scene to watch. Ivar said that he didn't want to kill Sigurd, even in the first episode, and he kind of says that again, saying that he doesn't want to kill his brothers and stuff. I don't think he really wants to kill his brothers. He just wants to be the powerful man, king, or whatever he wants to be. I don't think he wants to achieve that through killing his siblings. And they kind of start kind of agreeing on that and trying avoid the fight. And before they do that, Ivar spills his drink on Uba, which was crazy and funny thing to see. And everybody just spills their drink. Harold starts it, and it becomes a trend. It was like a challenge. And things get intense, and they kind of have to back out their way out of there. So that was a crazy, intense moment. I thought the war was gonna start right there, but it didn't. Everybody kind of backed up, and they started getting ready for the fight, and they don't really and we get the next point is, we get a snippet of England. We kind of go for England for like a few seconds. We see Alfred talking to his mother up top on the tower, and his brother is learning how to fight with his dad, Aetwulf of Wessex. Yeah, Alfred is kind of like the mind guy. He's like King Ecbert, and his half brother is like, I don't know. I don't know what you would call it, but Alfred is more of like, I don't know, King Ecbert. He kind of he likes questioning things, and that's that's something different about him. That's what makes him different, uh, than his half brother. Um. Oh yeah, and the war starts. It goes back to Kattegat, and the war has started, and Lagata's army kind of outsmarts the army of Harold, and they ambush them inside the forest, which was awesome. Since I was on the side of Team Lagata, but I kind of thought that um, that Visick led them to the ambush. I don't know. Maybe he led them. Who knows? But the war was amazing. We had a lot of action scenes, and medieval action scenes are very hard to shoot. It's not like gun shooting and stuff. And I mean, props for them. It was nice. It was nice to see another war. And what makes Vikings um, very nice to watch is that you will have you might have like war every episode, but you would never get bored of it. And other shows kind of build up a war, and they give you a war like after 8 episodes, but in Vikings there's war, there's fighting every single episode, and that's what makes it crazy and lovable. So yeah, right around the war continues, and um, the army of Harold starts losing, so he kind of backs up saying retreat, retreat, and they start retreating. The bishop, Hemond, I think his name is Hemond. Yeah, he is just an awesome fighter, and he wanted to switch his game mode to hard mode and fight Lagata, because it was easy for him. Like, he was slaughtering those heathens. Well, that's what he calls them, heathens. So he was enjoying that, but he wanted to kill Lagata. So right when he started walking to Lagata, he gets hit from the back, and he falls, and that's where the episode kind of ends, where Lagata saves him from dying, because Uba was gonna smash his head, but Lagata was like, no, I think we need him. So that's what happened in the episode. Those are the big points. So moving on to the next episode, we should watch out for moving on to the next episode. There are things that this episode kind of give us and let us know that this thing, like the characters from the characters who fought in those and whichever side they fought on, they're gonna stay in that team they have. Like, I was expecting Astrid or Visick to change sides, but they didn't. Even though I was expecting half in the black to switch sides too, but nobody switched sides. That was a cool thing to see. I guess they're Vikings, so their word means something to them. So this episode tells us that nothing has changed in the world of Vikings. Nothing has changed. Brothers kills brothers, and wars between brothers still continues. We've seen a lot of wars between Rollo and our great king, Travis or Ragnar. So nothing has changed in the world of Vikings. So I guess that's what it is. I guess maybe the episode is called The Joke because the Vikings are jokes. Like, they just keep fighting each other, and I guess that's what it is. So leave a comment if you like the review, and share and subscribe. Thank you so much.